UFC says UFC says Dana White is the only person I believe that could probably make this fight happen if he actually really wanted to. Will he? Who knows? That said, Joe Rogan has told Dana White that he should try and get into kickboxing or bring kickboxing into the UFC, but this is something Dana White has had no interest in. Now, that said, I think the money fight, one of the real big money fights to make in kickboxing, probably the biggest one, is simply to use the two biggest names. Who are the two biggest names at the moment? I mean, without a doubt, Badr Hari is the biggest name in kickboxing, the biggest heavyweight name, the one that pulls probably the most amount of worldwide people to see his fights. That said, Andrew Tate has been the most ruled man in the planet for I don't know how long now. And I know what you guys are gonna say, the level is different, blah, 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 but this fight makes a lot of sense for many reasons. I will get into the reasons in this video, so make sure you stick to the end to know all the reasons. If you like this kind of content, subscribe, comment, support, show your support by commenting and all this good stuff. I don't sell anything, so don't ever expect me to sell anything. I'm as real as they come, and yes, I'm gonna do the entire video in the split, so stick to the end to understand everything that all the points I'm gonna break down in this video. Now, that said, point number one, why UFC? Now think about it, guys, okay? UFC, why UFC? UFC is the biggest fight sport organization at the moment. Yes, they pay their regular fighters peanuts. Yes, they have a lot of problems, but this is the money fight. And with Badr Hari and Andrew Tate, you're not gonna be able to pull them in and pay them peanuts. They're not gonna go for it. And they're not contracted with the UFC. I think Badr might be contracted with Glory, but I'm sure the UFC could find a way around that and have him fight in the UFC. Now, by UFC, I don't mean UFC and have them fight in MMA rules. I mean UFC cage and have them fight with boxing gloves and have them duke it out at a kickboxing match in the UFC. That's what I'm trying to say here, okay? And I actually really hope this happens, okay? Many people will say it's not fair, Andrew Tate's got no chance. Does he have no chance, though? Think about it. Badr Hari is like the Conor McGregor of kickboxing at the moment. He's been on a losing streak. He keeps getting injured. He's lazy with his training. He's had a past of partying, even though he probably doesn't party as much at the moment, but all that shit caught up to him. So in that sense, Badr Hari is not the Badr Hari from the past. Like Andrew Tate is not going to be fighting a prime Badr Hari. He's going to be fighting an injured animal Badr Hari that doesn't even have the level of confidence that he used to have anymore. One thing about Badr Hari, guys, that I'm going to give away in this video, I already knew. One of the reasons why I was able to predict his losses and how I knew is he lost his character. What do I mean by that? I'm a person that watches body language a lot, like a lot. And one of the things Badr Hari has, some of you may not notice, he used to have the Sylvester Stallone lip. And I don't mean the crooked lip he got after he got whatever he got. I mean the lip thing he used to do when he was in his prime, like in Rambo. He used to lift up one side of his mouth upwards. Badr Hari used to have the same look back in the days when he used to destroy people. And when he came back and fought Rico Verhoeven, he had already lost that lip thing. When I saw that, I'm like, okay, his level of I don't give a fuckness is not there anymore the way it used to be. And it just isn't. And the way he fought was more like keeping his distance and all that, more like being careful and not taking hits. I think he was actually fighting pretty smart the first fight, and he won the first fight in my opinion, you know, until he got injured, and he was winning also in the second fight until he got injured. That said, Andrew Tate, on the other hand, never really fought to a point where he fought at the highest level, but he also didn't get injured the way Badr's been injured. I don't think he also hasn't been on the level of steroids that Badr's been on, you know? I mean, even though Andrew Tate claims that he's not natural, guys. He doesn't train hard enough to have the kind of body he has. Okay, he's definitely taking something, I don't know what, but probably at a minimum level. My point is, Andrew Tate's brain is not as damaged as Badr Hari's, like not even close. You hardly even see that he has any CTE. When you see Badr talking, you see the CTE in his head. Like he's been hit enough to have sufficient brain damage. I've seen that in a lot of fighters, like the eyes will move a little bit from the brain damage. Like if you look at him in the eyes like move side to side. I see that also with another champion that I know, Hatice Osilut, world champion. You guys can look it up. She's a girl, the Turkish delight. She's just not as famous because she's a girl, but you know she also has that thing in her eye. So, in that said, Badr Hari has taken way more damage over the years. He's way more prone to injury than Andrew Tate. Even though we haven't seen Andrew Tate fight for a long time, Andrew Tate is a defensive fighter. And right now, Badr Hari doesn't have the knockout power he used to have. So if Andrew Tate fights defensively, actually takes some real training, like maybe here in Holland, like if he comes to Holland and trains 6 months, I think Tate has a good chance of beating Badr. Seriously, like a really good chance of beating Badr Hari. Now, back in the days, yeah, for sure, Badr would destroy him in seconds. It wouldn't even take that long. Like the prime Badr Hari is a different thing. One thing I'm going to expose about also Badr Hari, because a lot of people talk about his spinning kick, right? Or maybe some of you don't know, but Badr Hari knocked somebody out with a spinning kick. If you guys watch that fight, I will do a full analyze on this fight another day. But even Joe Rogan, when he talks about this fight, he's not sure if it's a wheel kick or a spinning back kick, and then he ends up saying it's somewhere in between. The reality is it was a lucky shot, guys, a lucky shot. And the only reason it had power is because he was young. Because the way he's throwing the kick is almost the same way he's throwing the kick in the second Rico Verhoeven fight. And what do I mean by that? Like he's throwing the spinning kick and he's leaving his butt out, like a lot. Like he doesn't hip thrust the kick. You know, like I will get up and show you guys, but I want to take a split. So he doesn't hip thrust the kick at the end, like a real kicker does. He leans forward. It was a lucky shot. In fact, it wasn't even high enough to be a head kick. Some of you guys might think that was a head kick. It was not a head kick. He landed the kick right on the guy's neck, like right here. And the guy had his guard up. If the guy just would have kept his hands up, that kick wouldn't have even connected. For some reason, the idiot, right when Badr's foot's traveling, he puts his hands down and he gets nailed in the neck. That's the only reason that guy went out cold like that. And that's the same reason why Badr Hari was never able to pull off this move again, is because it's not really one of his moves that he's good at. He just got really lucky that night, and that really lifted up his fame level a lot by him knocking out that guy with a wheel kick, which we never got to see ever again. Even though he trained with a friend of mine, Alessandro. I trained with Badr Hari's Taekwondo trainer. I'll link the video here above, and I'll link it at the end for you guys to see of me training with him. But even he wasn't able to get his wheel kick to that level with a little bit of minimal training. He was getting not like good at his kicks. He does catch Rico Verhoeven with a nice left high kick, you know, and brings him down, and it's almost like a croak up high kick. That's because he was training these kicks with Alessandro. He was ranked 13 in the world or something, or 33 in the world when he was 16. I don't know. He was a really high level taekwondo, like a champion, you know. And but all that aside, they have a really good chance now. Last but not least, Dana White. This is a challenge for Dana White to make this fight happen. Why Dana White? He's the best promoter, guys. He knows how to market fights. He knows how to sell fights. I mean, he sold Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor is like the McDonald's of martial arts, you know? He's the most famous, maybe, but he's not the best. He never was. I'll get into that in another video, but Dana White knows how to sell anything, and Andrew Tate and Badr Hari already sell all on their own. If you match these two up, they are the same height, okay, and roughly the same age. What more do you guys want? All they have to do is meet and weight, and that's it. You make the fight happen. Have them both train like 6 months, you know, and then 6 months is enough time to really promote the fight, advertise the fight, and 6 months is also more than enough time for them to get in shape and fight each other and prepare. And again, they're the same height, they're the same, all they have to do is meet and weight, because I'm sure Badr is quite a bit heavier, but you know, they can just meet and weight. It's not hard for Andrew Tate. He knows how to train. He knows, you know, Andrew Tate might arguably mentally be a better fighter now than he was when he was competing, guys, because, and I don't like Andrew Tate, all right? Let me just put that out there. I don't fucking like Andrew Tate. I'm biased with my opinion, guys. I'm saying it like it is. I believe Andrew Tate might be a bit smarter right now in his fighting. I don't think he's in shape. I don't think he's actually sparred anyone that's significant for a long time. But if he actually makes himself do this and he stays clean, which he claims he's been clean, he claims he's not drinking anymore, that's already a step ahead, you know? So, I don't even know when no one started about making this video or talking about these two guys fighting. I've been thinking about doing this video for a while, but since no one's doing it, I figured, hey, you know what, let's just make this video. And I honestly hope that this video doesn't get too many views. I hope that it just gets enough views to reach Dana White for him to make this fight happen, because the reality is, yes, Andrew Tate and Badr Hari are two washed up fighters. We're not gonna get the prime Badr or the prime Tate. We're just not gonna see that. We're gonna see washed up fighters, even though they're in their late 30s. Their mind is not there like it was. I would even argue they're both scared to fight. So it's a pretty even matchup. They're both not hungry, they're both scared to fight, but they both like the money. Yeah, it's just more of a matter of Andrew Tate not checking out as well. If Dana White considers this as a matter of Andrew Tate not checking out the most, because Badr Hari, of course, is going to have the confidence that he's going to think he can F up Andrew Tate. But, if I had to do a prediction on this, like an early prediction on this, I actually predict Badr Hari losing to Andrew Tate. If I had to do a prediction, I would have to also see them training and all that. I'm not 100% sure right now, but I can say with maybe 60-70% certainty, I would say Andrew Tate will beat Badr now, if they're both prepared for it now. I see Badr missing, I see Badr getting injured, I see Badr getting tired, to be honest. And Andrew Tate just never fought anyone at that level. It's like an opportunity he's never had before. If he was able to beat Badr Hari, he's gonna be out there. His name is gonna be up there more with top level kickboxers, even though Badr is not prime Badr anymore. He would have to beat someone that's like more relevant now, like even Nicky Holzken. Nicky Holzken is my height, but I arguably, would say Nicky Holzken could probably beat Tate now if they fought now, even though he's smaller, because he's always fighting and he's got the boxing act behind him and all this other stuff. So, but yeah, this is an open challenge for Dana White to move his fat ass and make this fight happen, even though he did lose some weight. I call him a fat ass because he steals everybody's money, all his fighters. So, like, at least back in the days, his body used to fit what he was doing, He was overeating everyone's fucking paycheck. Now he's getting in shape, but he's still overeating everybody's paycheck. He just made better choices of what to put in his mouth and being more active, just because of the thought that they would told him that he might die. But that's completely for another topic, guys. I'm trying to think if I forgot anything. I don't think I forgot anything, no, this is the fight to make, guys. Badr Hari versus Andrew Tate. Reshare this video with significant people, I hope, that might actually consider making this happen somehow. I mean, like, again, I don't care about this video reaching the masses or getting lots of views like all these other stupid YouTubers. I'm not doing the video for this reason. I'm doing the video for the main reason that I hope this fight happens, because if it gets made and I watch their training and I watch their interviews, I'm gonna do an accurate prediction and I'm gonna be right, like I am most of the time. So if you haven't seen my other prediction videos of fights that I got right, I'll link it here above at the end. And that'll be it for this video, guys. So the next video, catch y'all later. Well, thanks for sticking to the end, guys. For all you guys that are sticking to the end. Yeah, this is how I sit after I sit for a long time. I go into this stance here. Asian squats. Let's see how long this video was. 14 minutes in splits. Nice.